In this video, I'm going to share with you a pretty simple strategy that uses just two indicators. We'll have a main indicator called zigzag, which shows us the direction of the local trend, and we'll have an auxiliary one called the awesome oscillator. So we'll be working with these two. One will give us the signal, and the other will confirm it. Right now, I'm opening a trade on confirmation, since the zigzag is showing us a downward movement, and the oscillator is in the lower zone. I'll show you all the entry points you should work with, and which ones you should skip. So with this strategy, you'll be able to earn money very easily and quickly. I'll show all the settings, basically everything, so yes, after this video, you'll have it all. All you need to do is repeat these settings, apply them on the platform, and then just make money from the ready-made entry points. And as you can see, the first trade brings me an excellent profit of $2,300. Alright, let's keep moving forward. But before that, let me remind you that in our private community, you can copy our trades. We have a large enough team of professional traders who provide signals every day. You can connect your account to ours and simply copy our signals. There's also an option to copy them manually. On our web channel, there's an option to join copy trading. So message our managers and let them know you want to copy our signals, and you'll be able to earn on autopilot. That means you won't even need to open trades yourself. The trades will be opened automatically for you. So if you want to copy our trades, just follow the link in the description and let us know you want to join our trading. Anyway, the links are waiting for you in the description. Look, here we have a pretty good entry point on the US dollar to Canadian dollar currency pair. What can we observe here? First of all, we have a nice downward movement here. Next, we can see that our oscillator is quite far out here, so we'll only open our trades taking that into account. The fact that we have a good downward movement is shown to us by the zigzag, and then our oscillator should be lower, 0. This is if we are talking about entry points for sales. If you and I see good, upward movement, like here, then we will open trades only when our oscillator is far above. This will be a safe entry point for buying. Well, we'll look at some practical examples next, so you don't need to worry about that. We'll go through all the entry points, so you have the clearest understanding of how to work with this strategy. By the way, we had some really good entry points earlier. In other words, the higher or lower the oscillator is, the safer our entry point will be. So once again, this is basically a confirmation that tells us whether it's safe to open a trade right now or not. Alright. Now let's go over the settings for these indicators. How do you add them? We go to, for indicators, we add zigzag and we add the oscillator, specifically this Styliad Voda one. There are actually 3 oscillators on the platform, but we need this specific one. Next, we go to zigzag settings and set 10, 14, and 3. After saving, we move to oscillator settings, set it to 5, then to 15, saving before. Now our platform is ready. Next, we need to use 15-second candles, regular candles, because that's exactly what I set the platform up for. By the way, with this strategy, you can close 8 out of 10 or even 9 out of 10 trades in profit. So again, I recommend you apply these settings and try them out for yourself. If you don't want to try it yourself, then contact our managers. They'll add you to our private elite channel or connect you with our traders. When we see that this kind of movement is just starting to form, that's also a good entry point. Yes, the payout here isn't very big, but still, if we see all the factors, right here we have, more precisely, right now a sell trade is forming. So if we have a downward movement here, we could have also opened a sell position. In other words, a good downward movement, and we made a profit in 1 minute. Here, there was a sell entry point, the oscillator, but the zigzag was already moving up. So we skipped this trade, and accordingly, that's where our sell entry points end. Next, by the way, take a look at this 27-point impulse. After that, we only had buy entry points here. So we had 1 entry point, we had a second entry point, we had a third entry point, and so on. All of them were for buying. There were a lot more opportunities here, since the zigzag was moving up. In other words, it was showing us a trending movement. I took 20 points from this trade, made $1,650. Next currency pair, British pound, Australian dollar, and right away, there's a good setup for a sell. Let's just watch in silence. We'll observe this trade, and then try to find a setup specifically for a buy. Another great entry point brings me $2,300. Honestly, that's just an amazing result. And here, on the Euro-Japanese yen, we can open a buy trade, because our zigzag indicator shows that we're moving upward. We can see that it's really going up, and the histogram is right at the very top. So once again, the higher the histogram is, the safer our entry points will be. We don't trade near the 0 line. Basically, this oscillator shows us exactly that. It shows how active the price movement is, and the higher it is, the better. We'll have a better entry point, and our momentum will be stronger. The last point is when a trade closes at break-even, a momentum move, and then we hit a wall. Most likely, it's a level, and the price bounces sharply. That happens with trades sometimes. Let's look at another trade during an upward movement in a trending market. on the Swiss franc and Japanese yen. On OTC, I can open a buy trade here since there's a strong upward movement, and accordingly, the histogram is high enough for us to open a buy trade. So let's see how many buy trades we had here, how many we could have opened. Basically, there were quite a lot of them. All of them were good, and you could have made money on them. That's it. After that, the buy trades here ended. You could have opened a position somewhere around here. Here, it's an option, or maybe not. At this point, we wouldn't open a trade anymore, since a downward movement had already started. So, we have 4 entry points for selling, meaning we have 4 entry points for buying and selling. We could have opened a position, actually, right here at the very top. This is basically the only entry point. Well, after that, either there's a mismatch with the zigzag, or one losing trade. No, actually not even that. Here we had a profitable entry point. Right here, if we had opened another position, it most likely would have been a loss. By the way, this trade closed in profit and brought me a whole 73 points and $2,300. So as you can see, the strategy really works very well and provides good entry points both on the OTC market and on the regular financial market. So all you need to do is copy the settings that I showed in this video. But if you want to copy our trades using other strategies, or even connect your account to our traders who are working and earning every day, making anywhere from 10% to 70% profit plus your deposit, then just write to our support account. The team will be happy to help you set everything up and connect you to our traders. As for commissions and percentages, go ahead and discuss those with our traders. Everything depends on your investment amount. Basically, the larger the amount, the more profit you can make. I'll leave the links in the description. With that, I'll say goodbye. Be sure to join our community. See you soon.